You're still watching Tea or Coffee this morning, and you can remember to follow us on all of our social media at High Impact and High Impact TV UK. Now, the conversation continues on teeth and dentistry this morning. We are joined by an expert and actually a friend of the house in name and person of Wura Olaokeria. Good morning, Wura. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Well, I'm really glad that you are able to join us on this conversation again. Before the cameras came on, I was telling you that, well, I've been learning a lot from, I learned a lot from our last conversation on sharing toothbrush, and, you know, I'm hoping to actually get some questions answered on dentistry this morning. So, you know, talking about dental and oral hygiene, let us start with some of the common oral and dental issues that people face, you know, in your experience, essentially.
Okay, I would say the most common is cavities. Okay. That's holes in the teeth. That's the most common. However, there are some that are present in the mouth that people are not aware of. You know, for the holes, it's really visible once it has the caries has already formed. So it's really visible. But we also have other issues that may be in the mouth, but some people do not know, or they don't even take it seriously until they start having pain. An example is gingivitis. That's like an inflammation of the gums. Like you see some people, their gums are red, swollen. That's as a result of poor oral hygiene. So most people, the most common complaint they may present is bleeding on brushing. It's not normal. You're not supposed to bleed when you brush. It's either your gums are inflamed or you're brushing too hard, this overzealous person when you're brushing, so it's not ideal that you bleed when you brush. Another common oral health problem is ulcers, sores in the mouth. Yes. Right. A lot of people present with sores in the mouth.
Okay. All right. So, you know, earlier on the show, I was talking about how I have moved from a soft toothbrush to a hard toothbrush. And I remember initially when I started using this particular toothbrush, I was a bit too overzealous, as you said, and then I was bleeding. So then then the next time I used it, I was a lot more gentle. So when I use this particular toothbrush, I don't bleed at all, but I'm a lot more gentle. Is it advisable to use a hard toothbrush? Because I've heard, you know, some conversations that hard toothbrush is probably not healthy for the gum.
Yes, it's not healthy actually. We are not supposed to use hard toothbrush. Okay. As adults, you are not supposed to even use soft. It's medium textured. Okay. Soft is for children. So with hard toothbrush, you most likely damage your teeth structure. Okay. So over a long time, you see there's this abrasion. Your teeth is wearing out, or even the gums are receding. They are going beneath how they should be. That's not proper. Okay,
very interesting. We live and we learn. All right, so what are some of the early signs of dental issues that a person can easily spot so for them to know that, you know, they actually need to visit the dentist? Okay,
well, we'll see early signs depending on the condition you present with. Okay. For example, for dental caries, that's cavities. The most early sign, you might notice a blackish or a whitish spot on your tooth that wasn't there before. Okay. So you know that a hole is starting to form. It might not have formed in its state at that moment, but there's this blackish spot that wasn't present there before. Right. So with time, it gets bigger. With time, the cavity in itself forms.
Okay. Okay. So those are the early signs for cavities.
Yes, for cavities. Yeah. Yes. Then for gingivitis, like I was mentioning, for people, they may notice this yellowish or greenish deposit around their teeth. It's not for some people, even when you start doing the treatment, they'll think, oh, you're removing my tooth. It's not your tooth. It's a deposit. It's a dirt. It's hardened. No matter how much you brush, it's not going to come off. So if you can't see it outside, you may notice it inside, especially around the gum lines. You see this blackish or green or yellowish deposit. It should be removed as soon as possible.
So the teeth needs to be removed?
Not the tooth. Okay. Those deposits.
Oh, so what would the process for removal be like for something like that?
You walk into dental clinic and a professional does scaling and polishing. The procedure is called scaling and polishing. So they scale off those debris, then they polish.
Okay, all right. So now, okay, also on the show, so Omobolade was saying, you know, that she, according to research, right? So if a person's teeth is a bit creamy or milky, it's stronger than a person's teeth that is white. What is the truth behind that?
Really, there's no truth behind that.
Okay.
For children, they have a more whitish teeth than adults.
Okay.
Baby teeth is whiter than adults. So when you grow older, with time, your teeth tends to get yellow. Doesn't mean it's stronger or it is weaker. It's just the color difference.
Right. So is it possible to have yellow teeth from birth?
It's possible.
Okay. How about those kind of situations then?
Okay, there are some conditions whereby some people have this yellowish or even brownish teeth. I won't say from birth, but once they start erupting teeth, you notice that the color, it's not normal. There's something funny about the teeth. So there's a condition called enamel hypoplasia.
Okay.
So probably the child was sick, or he took some certain medications, or the mom took some certain medications when calcification, that's in utero, or probably when the child is growing, you know, there's development happening. All your teeth don't erupt at the same time. So in a situation whereby some are erupting, some are still building up in the bones. So at that period, the child must have been terribly sick, or they take some medications that probably affected the calcification of those teeth. So when the teeth erupt, they come out looking funny.
Wow, very interesting. Okay, let's now talk about dental checkup. How often should a person, you know, go to the dentist to get a checkup, and what are some of the things that you would be checking, you know, in said checkup?
Okay, ideally you should visit a dental clinic twice a year.
Okay,
that's ideal. For some people, it could be less, it could be more. So once you walk into a dental clinic, the dentist sees you, like, first of all, you're walking in, they're already noticing your appearance, looking at your face. Is there swelling? Is there any disfiguration? Is your jaw tilted to the left or to the right? Is there any asymmetric formation or something like that? So on the chair, there's still a lot of examination going on. You know, we check the lymph nodes, you know, we have to check again the face before we now go into the oral cavity.
Okay.
So in the oral cavity, we're checking the soft tissues, the gums, the cheek, the mucosa. Then we check the teeth for any pathology.
Okay, can we do a practical, you know what you just said about a dentist looking at a person and they're already getting somebody. Can you do that with me?
I'm not my instrument. I've been looking at you since I've been.
I know. I've been seeing how you've been looking. So, what is your some of the assumptions that you have in with my teeth right now?
Oh, well, for an adult, it's white. I would say yes, but I'm sure you need to come and do scaling and polishing.
Okay, you are sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I clearly need to do scaling and polishing. All right. So, what are some of the best ways to practice good oral hygiene at home? So, what, as you know, I think this morning we were talking about how often you should brush your teeth twice a day. How often you should brush your teeth, and some people have said twice a day is better. Some people said 3 times a day is better. But what actually, answering that question, how many times should a person brush their teeth?
Ideally twice.
Is 3 times overkill?
Yes, just being overzealous. Or let's say you take like something that has this pungent smell, like ginger, or something you don't want people to perceive it when you talk. Okay, accept that, but it shouldn't be a routine. Okay. The routine should be morning and lasting at night. That's when you brush at night, you don't eat anymore. Okay. Again, you should also floss. For some people, they just brush. They skip out the flossing parts. So the floss is like a thread. It cleans in between the teeth where your toothbrush can't get to. So those dirt that are hidden in between the teeth, the floss helps to get rid of those. Okay, so what is the danger? We're talking about floss, comparing flossing to toothpicks, because in Nigeria, we have a very strong toothpick culture. Yeah. What are the dangers with using toothpick that, you know, flossing actually prevents? Okay, a toothpick doesn't do the work of a floss. Okay. For a toothpick, most people just use it to pick out, let's say, meat or whatever it is that is stuck in between the teeth. Right. But the floss cleans like from the upper cusp down to the gum, to the gingival line. It goes that way, cleans it, and it's easy to manipulate because it's just like a thin thread.
Yeah.
Now, for the toothpick, most people, when they try to pick their teeth, they most times even damage their gums because they keep burrowing in between the teeth and the gum, and they keep burrowing.
Yeah.
With time, the tooth loses its attachment from the gum, and bacteria could, you know, there's now like a perforation. The bacteria could, through that medium, seep, you know, to the root of the teeth.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about teeth whitening. So teeth whitening and scaling and polishing, are they the same thing? All right, so what makes these two actually different?
Okay, teeth whitening is also called teeth bleaching.
Okay.
So it's just like you're making your teeth whiter.
Right.
For scaling and polishing, you're actually making your teeth clean.
Oh.
So I can't whiten a dirty teeth. So if I have to whiten, I'll have to do scaling and polishing first before the teeth whitening.
Okay.
So difference is like this. So like just like you have a cloth, you're washing and you're bleaching.
Okay.
Like a white cloth, yes. You have to wash it first before you put it in a bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Okay, all right. So what are some of the major causes of mouth odor? Now, earlier on the show, I was saying that I read somewhere that, you know, one of the causes of mouth odor is when the tongue is not properly, you know, brushed. Is that correct?
Yes, it could be a cause.
Okay, so what are some of the causes of mouth odor?
Okay, yeah, the most common cause of mouth odor is poor oral hygiene. Like I said, once you've not done scaling and polishing, with time you have this build-up. Those build-up, they are not normal. They are bacteria-laden. So over a while, they release their byproducts that causes this bad breath.
Right.
Bad breath could also come from within. Like if it's not related to the mouth, it could come from within. We have certain conditions that cause bad breath.
Yeah.
Like, and it could be, and you notice that smell will be peculiar to that condition. For example, like diabetes.
Right.
There's this ketone breath that a diabetic person would have. The smell smells like it's like strawberry sort of. It's not so pleasant. It's not so pleasant.
Right.
But if you're not a health professional, you may not be able to pick that particular smell. You just know that there's this funny smell. But for a trained health professional, once you smell that thing, oh, you know, probably this person has diabetes. It's peculiar. So you also have some other causes. It could be like an ulcer that is causing the bad breath. Even a tooth decay could cause bad breath because, you know, once there's a cavity, food stores there. So imagine the composition of food in that tooth, so it causes bad breath.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to end on dieting. I want to talk about a diet a person, you know, some particular meals people should stay away from, and particular meals that people should start eating to, you know, help to strengthen their teeth and prevent tooth decay. So let's talk about dieting. What foods actually should people really be taking when it comes to oral hygiene?
Okay, ideally, but that's quite a tough one because, you know, dieting, we have to, for most people, if you tell them, oh, stay off this, it's quite difficult because it's like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So as regarding the oral health, majorly, fruit and vegetables should replace sugary food. Okay. Like let's say pastries, snacking in between meals, taking a lot of chocolates, ice cream. It's not like you shouldn't take it, but you have to reduce the frequency.
Balance.
Yes, and substitute it with fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
So that should.
What kinds of fruits?
Well. That's quite tricky. Any fruit could do, but however, there are some fruits that are high in acidic content. Okay. So for some people that have ulcer or those who vomit frequently, they might need to stay away from such fruits.
Like oranges?
Yes, like oranges, the acidic content. Because we'll notice by the time you do your checkup, in their mouth, you'll notice like, we'll call it erosion. So we notice there's this slough on their teeth. So as a result of vomiting frequently, by the time you regurgitate, the acid content in your mouth keeps causing that slough in it.
Okay, all right. It's been wonderful having you on this on the studio again, Wuraola. Thank you very much for coming, and we hope you can actually come back again.
Hopefully.
To actually,
practically,
literally have a look at some of the things. I doubt this scaling and polishing thing that you said. All right, I'm going to have to probably book an appointment with you.
Yeah, you should.
All right, so that is the conversation on oral hygiene and dentistry with Wuraola Okedia this morning. I hope you've been able to learn something. This conversation will be on our YouTube page later on today. All you have to do is subscribe to High-Impact TV on YouTube.